Time now is 12 minutes past 7. 95 students at universities in England and Wales took their own lives last year. It's prompted calls for higher education institutions to improve the mental health support that they offer.
Yeah, the government says it will award certificates of excellence to English universities which meet new standards of mental health care. Well, joining us now to discuss this from the University of Bristol is the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Hugh Brady, and Olivia Williams, who's a student and mental health campaigner who is here in the studio with us. Good morning to you. Olivia, let me start with you. Just tell us a bit about why you've become a mental health campaigner, because it's very much a personal story for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't have any mental health issues before I went to university, and I got really ill in my first year. I ended up borderline pneumonia, and when I went home, when I was sick, my mental health just deteriorated severely, and it was around the January-February time I got diagnosed severely depressed by my doctor, and since then it's just kind of been like a battle since then to try and get myself a little bit better. And I think that's what a lot of people found with mental health, that it's not going to go away overnight. It's just a constant battle, really.
And did you feel like you were getting help from university? Because it was while you were at university it happened, obviously.
Yeah, I was in my first year, so I was quite lucky. None of first year really counts. So that was the time I could really take to get better. And my lecturers were amazing. They said to me that I could do my work at home, bring it in when I felt ready. I'd done a course of antibiotics that just made me sleep, not antibiotics, antidepressants, which just made me sleep constantly throughout the day. And my lecturers were really understanding about that and just said, come in when you feel like you've adapted to your tablets a little bit better, which was perfect for me.
So the support network was there for you. Let's talk to Hugh. Professor Hugh Brady, what support networks are in place at Bristol University? And I ask you this, obviously knowing that student suicides in Bristol, have been very well publicised. So you must be very mindful about making sure the right systems are in place.
We are indeed. I mean, the challenge of mental health is undoubtedly, I think, the single greatest public health challenge of our time in the universities, but equally in general society, because even the ONS numbers that were published in the last few weeks show that this is an even bigger issue outside of the university. It's a top priority, certainly for me as Vice-Chancellor, and I know for other Vice-Chancellors. And what it's forcing us to do is to look at the complete student journey, starting with that transition, an exciting but often very intimidating transition from secondary school to third level, but then the types of support that we offer students once they enter our university, how we work with them, student body to identify vulnerable students, to support them, and how we partner with our NHS colleagues, for example, to ensure that those students who run into problems are better supported. So it will not be one single intervention. It will be that, I think, a new look, a fresh look at the student journey. And equally, I think, working with our curriculum to help build into mainstream resilience, health and well-being into the personal development of our students.
Well, the strategy sounds good, but there's, I think, £100,000 grant behind this project. £100,000, we've got all the universities in the UK and all those students. Is that enough?
Well, independent of the Minister's announcement, I mean, we are investing well over 10 times that amount into our mental health services. So first, we welcome the Minister's suggestion on students opting in. So several months ago, we took the decision that we would encourage all students from September to opt into a situation where, if we're really worried about their mental or physical health, that we can contact a loved one or a guardian that they designate. So it has to be done in partnership. It has to be somebody that they opt in, that they agree that we can contact, and equally, if appropriate, that they can opt out. But what we're saying is, let's take a sensible approach to this. You don't become a different person overnight. If you have a mental health issue in secondary school, we need to know about it so we can support you best. And often that is best done in a team situation. Equally though, what we're looking at is supplementing traditional supports in our halls of residence, traditional supports in our academic schools, but complementing those supports by a team of professionals who are there on a 24/7 basis, again, to help identify vulnerable students very early so that then we can support them better.
Olivia, what do you think hearing all of this and knowing you yourself have had problems and also you work and support lots of young people who do, how do you feel?
It's nice to hear that there's going to be funding put into it, because I feel like that's one big thing. It's so underfunded. For me, at university, the student union want to work alongside Edgehill. We want to work to create a mental health friendly campus. Things like creating first aiders who are trained in mental health in the halls of residence would be unbelievable. Halls of residence is where everything happens at the end of the day. That's where everyone's drinking, everyone's partying. That's where you go at the end of the day. You need that support, you need that system. And that's one thing that I want to do with the society as well. I've set up a mental health society to give people that community, so they know that they're not alone when it comes to mental health, because I think that's a big thing. A lot of students do feel like they're alone.
What would you say? I mean, there'll be students watching now. We're approaching that summer. Well, we're in the summer period now, exam stress. But, you know, people who are about to start university next year, what tip could they take away, or just thinking about the transition into university and that different lifestyle, to try to arm themselves well, mentally and emotionally?
Definitely, if you're going through anything, tell people, which sounds really cliche, but my support system in first year was unbelievable. It was one of the most amazing years of my life, and without my support system, my friends, I probably wouldn't have gotten through it. But this year, my family found out about my depression and about everything I've been through. That opens up a whole can of worms, because now I've got the support of my family. I think you just can't be scared to speak out, because there's a stigma around mental health. The sooner we get rid of that stigma, the better. I'm lucky that I've got somebody in the SU called Arthur, who I speak to loads, and he is so keen to get involved with the mental health kinds of campaigns and events that we want to put on. So we're lucky at Edgehill that we have got a student union who want to improve the mental health of the students.
So good that you're giving back as well, though. But I guess that must be quite therapeutic for you to talk to people about it.
I mean, the society's fairly new. We're properly kicking it off in September. But so far, just doing the talks that we've done has been helpful for even one person. So for me, even if it helps one person, I'm happy with that.
As you say, talking is very important. As Olivia, thank you, and Professor Hugh Brady, thank you very much as well, making sure that there are clear lines of communication, clear channels in order to get through. Thank you.
Yeah. Details of organisations offering information and support with mental health are available bbc.co.uk/action line, or you can call for free at any time to hear recorded information on 0800 0155 998. Oh no, I've added an extra zero there, haven't I? 0800 155 998.